Hello, welcome to Hike 1 Paint 1 episode 10. Today we are hiking Mount Si. Make sure you stick around to the very end so you can hear my thoughts on the hike. Enjoy. Alrighty, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. Today we are going to be talking about Mount Si. It is located roughly around 40 minutes east of Seattle. Mount Si Trail is located here at the Mount Si Natural Resources Conservation Area. It is considered a state park, so you do need a Washington Discovery Pass. So if you look all the way to the left of the screen here, you'll see my stats. Total length is about 9 miles or so. Elevation gain, a whopping 3,200. This is absolutely not a beginner hike. This is an absolute leg wrecker. Moving time is about 6 hours or so. Total time about 7.5. Now, That is considering all the back and forth of the camera, all the breaks, and is also hanging out at the summit for about an hour and a half or so. A healthy individual, in my opinion, can probably do this hike in under 4 hours, but if you keep your eyes to the left of the screen, you can see all the different splits, and it's broken down per mile and how much elevation gain. So it is absolutely steady the entire way up. So your hike will probably look a little bit more like this one. You'll still be able to do it in under 8 miles and under 3,400 feet of elevation gain. This one has a little bit more than my activity, and I'll kind of let you know why here a little bit later. I'm going to be reiterating this throughout the entire description just because I think it's really important, and this is not a beginner hike. You know, I saw so many people on the trail that were just having such a terrible time. You know, maybe didn't do enough research, or maybe 3,200, 3,400 feet of elevation gain didn't seem a lot to them. But it is a pretty grueling 4 miles up, and especially that last mile is especially grueling because it goes up almost 1,000 feet. Now, if you're not entirely sure where you land and what I call the quote-unquote hiking shape, I would maybe consider doing Little Sai a little bit earlier on here. That hike is under 5 miles and under 1,200 feet of elevation gain. So a couple things to be mindful of before you consider doing Mount Sai. This is an incredibly busy hike. As you can see, the parking lot is kind of sized. These are about 3 or 4 rows of parking options, but I got there around maybe 9 a.m. and it was completely packed to the rim. The second thing is, I would really recommend having a decent pair of hiking shoes or boots, just because on the way down it is incredibly steep, and I saw a lot of people kind of slipping and losing their footing and things like that. So consider those 2 things before you do Mount Sai. So I'm not going to give you a lot of details about the actual hike itself. It's pretty straightforward. The trail is extremely trafficked, so it is really well maintained. There is a whole bunch of little staircases built all throughout the trail, and you'll also see kind of like a few bridges, but that's really it. Nothing too exciting while you're on the trail itself. Alrighty, just to be clear, where I stopped to have my lunch and take the majority of the photos is not the actual true peak or summit of Mount Sai. This is the false summit and where the majority of the people do stop. Just make sure you continue down the trail here and go up and around the backside of the mountain, and that's when you can actually do the true push to the summit here. I did not get any views to the east of here. Looking at the Cascades, I was not able to see Mount Baker or anything like that. The kind of hill here and the actual summit kind of blocked that for me. If you're kind of looking west, you'll be able to get views of both Seattle and Bellevue. You get pretty epic views of Lake Washington kind of moving on here, and the Puget Sound all the way in the back, and of course you'll be able to see the Olympic Mountains all the way in the background. And looking south, of course, you'll be able to get pretty awesome views of Washington's beauty, Mount Rainier. You were able to see the Tahoma Peak as well. That was pretty sweet. This was the only volcano I spotted today. Another thing that you kind of want to peek out for is you'll be able to get pretty sweet views of both Mailbox Peak. It's this kind of triangular looking mountain here. It's a very, very popular hike here in Washington, and you'll also be able to see the Russian Butte with the really jagged mountains here. So the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is making sure you check out Snoqualmie Falls. It's only 16 minutes away from the actual trailhead of Mount Sai. It is a 268-foot waterfall just right off the Snoqualmie River. Here is the actual website itself. You can see there's pretty remarkable views. Not much of a hike, but a little bit more of a stroll. Looks like it's only about a mile and a half, a complete round trip here, getting a whole bunch of different views and vistas. Alrighty, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you go check out the video on how to paint Mount Fuji, the rock that I left on this trail. If you find it, please comment below. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a good one, guys. Peace out.